So welcome back to Irish Strength Training. So today we've got our keg carry. I know what you're thinking, kegs are just good for holding beer, but we can use them in our training as well. So keg carry is brilliant for your cardio and conditioning training. This is brilliant whether you're doing strongman, powerlifting, or really just any other training. This will be a great addition and it will really help any of your other lifts. When you're looking for a keg, generally, maybe it's easier because I live in Ireland and every second building is a pub, but they're fairly easy to come across. Nearly everyone knows somebody that works in a pub, and you get the joy of drinking it before you have to start using it. Once you get one, you're going to want to, you've got three options for filling it with water, filling it with a mixture of sand and water, or filling it with concrete. Now, filling it with water is your beginner step. It'll be a little bit lighter, okay, and you can dump some out if you want to make it lighter or heavier, depending. The next step is to add in sand, and that again will add a little bit more weight than just having water. And then your final step is to fill it with concrete. This is the heaviest. The problem with filling it with concrete is you take away the instability of the lift. One of the really good things with a keg carry is that you do have instability, and that makes it harder to run and pick up the actual keg itself. Whereas if you have concrete, it's more of a dead weight, easier to pick up. So it's up to yourself which you decide to do. So a lot of people won't have the luxury of having multiple kegs, and in strongman conditions, generally you're maybe moving 3-5 kegs, and you have to be able to train for that. I'm going to show you a way how to use just one keg to do that same exercise. So the first step is your hand position. You're going to take your less dominant hand and pop it on top of the keg. You're going to take your dominant hand, tip the keg over, grab the bottom, brace, and then lift it up onto the chest. From this point, you're going to be slightly leaning back. You're going to be pulling the keg in towards your body, and then you're going to start running. Another way you might see people gripping the keg is same start. So tipping it over, bringing it up to the chest, but then bringing that hand around to the front. So that's fine for your lighter weights, but when you do go a little bit heavier in your keg, the last thing you want to do is release your grip to bring that hand around the front. That's very, very dangerous, and chances are you may drop it and may slip out of your hands. What you don't want to do is grab the keg like this. The keg carry is all about speed, and when you hold the keg like this, it gets in the way of the front of your legs, which impedes your running and will slow you down. So the next little tip for you is I'm going to be running this direction. Now you want to make sure that when you are getting ready to lift your keg, that you're tipping it in the direction you're going to travel. This is because when you bring it up to the chest, straight away you're into your run, as opposed to doing it from this side, where I'm tilting the keg away from the direction that I'm going. Then I have to take a step around before I start running. In this example, I'm going to show how to use one keg to do multiple runs on a course. Once you've done one run of the course, in this case 10 meters, you're going to drop the keg and run back halfway, which is 5 meters, and then 5 meters back to the keg. You then pick up the keg again and run the full 10 meters. This will simulate that you've run the full 10 meters back to the start line to pick up your next keg. This will mean that I've carried the keg the full 10 meters twice. You can do this for as many reps as you need as part of your training program, and you can also increase the distance if that is needed. So when you see this exercise in the strongman competition, often you'll see it as part of a medley where you're moving sandbags, kegs, a lot of different implements. Sometimes you will have to just carry it to a point and drop it. Sometimes you will have to load it onto a platform. Whatever way you do it, once you get the keg, that's the first step. Anything else you can make do with what you've got in your environment to practice loading it, to practice just lifting it up, dropping it back down, so then you're practicing your lift. Where to put it in your training? Generally, I would put it in towards the end of your training. It's quite a hard conditioning and cardio move, so it will just obliterate whatever energy you've got left after your training session. So I would put it in at the end. You can do shorter distances, so 10 meters, or you can do longer distances. Obviously, shorter distances you're going to do more reps, longer distances you're going to do less reps but more distance. As well, you can also, like I said at the start of the video, you can fill it in different ways to make it heavier. And obviously the heavier you go, the shorter distance you're probably going to make it. I hope you found this video helpful. Click that notification bell, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.